Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Goines, and welcome to another episode of Keep It Goines. Listen, we're going to be talking. This show is going to be talking about some of everything, but today we have a topic that I'm pretty excited about. I believe that there is a such thing as healthy divorce. Sam, were you aware of the friction from her that you like? Were you shocked when you found out the marriage was in trouble?
Yeah, I was.
Are there times where you just forget y'all not together, be like, you know what, stop playing with me, and she ain't really did nothing? What happens if y'all touch hands right now? I'm curious.
They'd be sweaty. No, let's not do that.
Let's not touch hands.
You gonna leave me hanging up?
Are you afraid?
What up? What up? Welcome to the Keep It Going podcast. Now let's chop it up.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Goines, and welcome to another episode of Keep It Goines. Listen, we're going to be talking. This show is going to be talking about some of everything, but today we have a topic that I'm pretty excited about. It's going to catch you off guard because you never heard this before, but I believe that there is a such thing as healthy divorce. I mean, it has to be healthy divorce if there's a such thing as toxic marriages. Right. So if you can have a toxic marriage, you can have a healthy divorce.
Yes, sir.
And so I have two very special people. This is Randy and Tori Mays. Rah, rah, hoorah, great people. And I think what we want to do, nice shoes, by the way, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Man, you're going to stop watching me, bro. I'm getting sick of you, man. At any rate. So we're going to talk a little bit about healthy divorce and some of the things that we're outside looking in, it looks healthy, right? Yeah. And so sometimes we don't know what it really is. Right. So we want to kind of talk about it, which I think really helps some people who feel that when they get a divorce, it's like they write each other off and they got to talk bad about each other and all the fighting with the kids. Right. And sometimes it can be really toxic, but from what I'm looking at with you guys, it can also be healthy. Absolutely. And so just to kind of bring us up to speed as far as like who y'all are and where you are in life stage, first and foremost, how long did y'all date before you got married? How long did you date before you got married?
4 years.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So y'all did take your time. I mean, you didn't rush into this.
I mean, I would say we somewhat took our time, but we rushed into becoming parents.
Yeah, we had that baby quick.
We
had that baby quick.
Well, we dated for maybe a month and a half before was it like a month and a half, 2 months before we conceived Reagan.
So, is that right?
That's about right. Yeah.
So okay. So you met, you had a glimmer in your eye, and because you guys are Christians, she got pregnant because you kissed her hard, and so Reagan was born. Okay. And that was a month and a half after dating.
We knew each other before, dating.
Yes.
But we knew each other since we were like 12, though.
Yes.
And so, did Reagan kind of make you guys start thinking that we need to be together? Because sometimes people would say, well, let me do the right thing because there's a baby in the picture.
No, I know we wanted to be together for sure. Mm-hmm. Even if people tried to push it, I was like, nah, I ain't finna marry that girl because no baby. We can stay together though.
Right.
And so that sort of happened. Then we ended up getting engaged later.
Didn't Randy have like a hood fabulous car or something?
It was a fabulous Impala a fabulous Impala sitting on 22s.
Yeah.
There was a movie screen. In fact, that was like one of our first real dates. He picked me up and he took me to Sonic.
Had you seen the car before?
I had seen the vehicle.
Okay, so you knew he was hood.
I knew what he had.
Okay, which hood? Okay.
And he took me to Sonic during happy hour.
No way. No. This man did not take you on a first date to a Sonic drive-in happy hour.
That wasn't the first date.
That wasn't the first date. But honestly, that was when I realized that I loved him. Ooh. Because he was able to kind of meet my expectations in terms of effort.
At Sonic's.
In terms of effort, he was able to meet my expectations.
Okay.
while also providing, romance and things like that.
At Sonic's.
At Sonic, it is not quantity; it is quality, gentlemen.
Okay. That's a word. It's not quantity but quality. But but was Sonic's the best you could do, or is that just that how your budget was set up?
No. So context: our first date was at some Mexican restaurant. Like we went to eat out all that Camposanos. Yeah. So that was like a date, like a hangout, like a situation thing. Yeah,
okay.
Not like a, hey girl, I'm gonna take you to Sonic. I'm gonna rock.
I was about to lose but she remembered Sonic's.
I do,
and not the Mexican place.
Right.
Okay. That takes a hell of a mouthpiece, man. If you up at Sonic's, then were y'all sitting on top of the car?
No, we were not sitting on top of the car. We sat inside of the vehicle.
Okay.
And he had a nice, what was that, like a 8-inch, 10-inch screen.
Oh,
yeah. Whoa!
Yeah.
8-inch, 10-inch screen.
Y'all watch TV?
We watched a movie.
DVD player. Pop it in right there. You got your drink? You good?
Wait a minute, man.
Got your drink? I got my drink.
Wait a minute. But this was no alcohol at Sonic's.
No.
So you went 2 for 1 Slurpees and a aftermarket 8-inch TV.
Yes.
And do you remember the movie?
I do not. Oh, wait. Did we watch? Oh, SWAT. Was it?
Oh yeah,
LL Cool J.
Yeah. It was like one of my favorite movies.
Well, let's move on because I think you guys. I think though I like what Tori said, that it's not where you are, it's the company you're with. I kind of like that.
Yes.
So I think he had some great conversation in the car. So we start out great. We're at the Sonics. We're ghetto fabulous, and everything is fine. A month and a half later, Tori says, "Surprise!" How did that hit you?
Man, it was like a 90s R&B movie. When you take that shower and you hit against the thing, it was like, oh snap.
How old were you?
19.
I was 18.
19.
Wow, y'all were babies, man. And so 4 years later, so at 23, you got married.
Yeah.
Okay, so and how long did the marriage last?
8.
Almost 7.
8 or 7? Or
it was around my 30th. It was around my 30th birthday, so it'd have been almost 7.
So approaching it though, at what point, or was there like a point where you said, this might not work? Was there a point after getting married? Or no, let's back up. Were there any trepidations before the marriage that maybe you overlooked after the marriage? Some of you said this is not a big deal, but then after you got married, you said this is a big deal.
I would say, to put this, I think just the lifestyle of law enforcement kind of was sometimes a bit for me. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
So it's a lot of like the time away and the stress of the job.
Yeah.
So being a police officer's wife, you didn't understand what that. You didn't really understand what that was.
I understood it and I supported it because a lot of the sacrifices that I made as an individual was to ensure that Randall was doing what he needed to do in that field to support our family. So I understood and I respected it, but I just think ultimately there were just some things that I think just kind of began the friction of our relationship.
And did you sense the friction? Were you aware of the friction?
In seasons. In seasons. There's some seasons where you got to work a little harder than other seasons.
No, I'm saying, were you aware of the friction from her? Did you were you shocked when you found out the marriage was in trouble?
I was. Yeah.
So you knew first.
Yeah.
And so you're saying you didn't really realize things were as bad as they were.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And was that mainly because you were the one that was going? Do you think that was that he didn't notice because his attention was divided?
I mean, I would say that it could go both ways. Mm-hmm. I think that sometimes I know I'm guilty of wanting to look past what's right in front of me.
Okay.
I mean, and not intentionally or in a
What did you look past?
malicious
What
way.
did you say? I'm gonna look the other way. You here now? Keep it going.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, there were just things a part of the lifestyle of being a police officer, especially in the different divisions and things like that he was involved in, that were concerning. But then there were also things on my end as well that, while I felt were presented.
Tori, you're being really vague right now.
I
have no idea what you're
know.
saying right now. I mean, is it, Randy, are you comfortable with her giving details, or?
I have no idea what she's about to say.
Randy has no idea what you're about to say. I call you Randall.
No,
He
government.
did say
That's
Randall.
right. It's Randy.
Randy.
Yeah.
I say Randall.
Yeah, Randall's. It makes me feel like I'm
You
feminine.
can call him Randy.
So I mean, but here we are. Here we are.
Yes.
So what was it that you felt you had to look past?
I think it was a lot of the associates that he had within the department.
Oh, like hoish officers.
Sure.
Okay.
There's that, and then there's always, like the random,
Women.
people that, I mean, and not saying that he was
Sure.
to that degree, but I mean, there was just always a possibility, the later hours and things like that. But then there were also things on my end that I walked into the relationship with, so vices and things like that I walked into the relationship with.
I like that.
Ultimately were an issue towards the end whenever I was presenting my concerns.
Okay. So there was suspicions that you had that made you uncomfortable.
Correct.
And you coupled those with your own baggage that you owned prior to, but your baggage seemed to be bigger.
Correct.
That led to ultimately to a divorce.
Correct.
And so when you found out that were you aware of the baggage that she's referring to? That you, okay, but you checked the baggage, because baggage is on. First of all, we all have baggage, right?
Right.
But it's important that we check the baggage. We own the baggage. We know what the baggage is. And so you knew what the baggage was and said that this is not a deal breaker.
Correct.
But you discovered that it became a deal breaker later.
Correct.
And what baggage might you point out? If you had to point out one piece of baggage that turned out to be bigger than what you thought.
For work purposes.
No. So I think when Tori was sort of like more so, she could be more so like a pleaser, right? She wanted to be straight. So I'm more so of a business direct conversation. It's like, hey, this is what the deal is on this situation. If she thinks it's going to affect me, she'll be like, okay, I'll fix it. That's cool. And then we moving on. I'm moving on. She's still stuck right there.
Okay. But it never got fixed.
Right.
Gotcha. So you feel like she was a little too passive.
She could be for sake of
Keeping the peace.
peace.
Yes, absolutely. Because there was also wanting to have peace when he was home. And so I'm not going to want to harbor on something for a very long time because I want to appreciate and value the time that he's there. So yeah, at the time I was quick to throw
That's
things
intriguing.
under the rug. I was
Intriguing.
quick to throw things under the rug and kind of let things be because I wanted my marriage to work. I wanted us to be happy. And ultimately, I knew that, especially as the girls got older, they could tell when things were at least wrong with me because towards the end of our marriage, I was home.
So, and I actually think that is for people watching this that who are married. I think what Tori is saying is huge because she's saying to keep the peace, I didn't address the issues because he's already gone enough. So I don't want him to be home and now we're hashing out issues. So to keep the peace, I just swept it under the rug. But the only problem with that is the dirt is still there.
It is.
Right. And now the rug is not flat. Now you're going to trip over the dirt that's already there. And now he can't see the dirt. He just see a lumpy rug and had no idea that you put it away. And so I think that if I'm hearing y'all right, that just built things up. Yeah. So now she's frustrated about stuff that you thought was over months ago.
Done.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. We can really talk about that for a little while, the dangers of that. But in the interest of time, and so how long have we been divorced so far?
Want to be 3 years in December?
3 years.
Next week.
Yeah.
That's the official divorce.
Oh, yeah, it's already December.
Yeah, 3 years next week. Yeah.
That's when it became official.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Wow. Any regrets? Any regrets that maybe we shouldn't have gotten divorced?
I went first the other time, so you can go first this time.
She said, I ain't being pastor this time, Joker. Go first.
Sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes.
And what kind of makes you feel like, man?
The way my brain works, it doesn't make sense for my kids to be in separate households or me not seeing my kid every day. It doesn't. My brain. I came back from college doing finals to see my kid being born. She was early. I moved back here, was paying 2 rents to a park because I had to be here.
This is for the last 3 years.
Yeah. So
Wow.
So that's like my kid, the whole alternating schedule, it works, but it don't work. It's like I want to see my kids every day.
And so for you, the kids would have been worth staying married for.
Yes, because I think the season that we're in could have ended. The bad season could have ended.
Wow. So you're saying that you guys made a decision in a bad season, and that season could have very well been temporary.
Could have been, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about you, T?
So I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
So I feel that, we possibly pulled the trigger too soon. But I also have seen the benefits in being on my own. I went from my parents' home to our cute little bungalow in Arlington. So I never had an opportunity to gain independence.
Now, did you guys live together before you got married?
Yes.
For a little while.
Okay, so dating at 18, a month and a half later, pregnant with Reagan. When did y'all move in together?
Right after Reagan was
Yeah.
born.
Wow. So at 19, you had a whole family.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And so you never had a chance to be grown.
No.
And there had to be a part of you that says, what would life have been like
Right.
and not be a maze so soon?
And not even that. I think it was I never had an opportunity to learn myself.
Right.
Because
Wow.
I immediately went from being a child to being a wife.
Wow.
Even though we weren't immediately married, I immediately stepped into that role of being a mom and being a wife. So who Tori was and what Tori wanted, that was never an option.
Wow.
So the divorce definitely gave me an opportunity to seek my interests and seek my passions and get to know, what really makes me tick. But I would also agree that the season that we were going through, it could have been lived through, and we possibly could have made things work, but there still would have needed to be a period of time
A separation.
where I had space to find myself.
So would it make more sense to be separated, have a long separation as opposed to getting divorced? Maybe a year and a half or 2 years of being separated? Do you think that would have?
I wouldn't. The funny part about the separation piece is I wouldn't have known the value of that until now.
Yeah.
There was no.
I-
You finna
That's
do what?
good.
It's like you finna do what?
Yeah.
Nah, you must well.
See that? And that right there. Hey, listen, we can't do it how this way. And I think, man, that's a sign of immaturity. First of all,
Absolutely.
to not have a gray area, because life is gray. I mean,
It is.
life is not like either you're gonna stay married or get on. I think that's we tend to quit a lot of things too soon.
Absolutely.
Because we operate in black and white,
Okay.
which begs the question. I thought about this before this interview.
Yeah.
What would Tori? It's your turn now.
Yeah.
What would you have told you a week before getting married to this man, knowing what you know now, that the marriage will end in divorce and you'll be sitting on stage and all this good stuff? What would you now have told you the week before you married this man?
I mean, honestly, the only thing I maybe would have suggested to myself would be to wait and to continue, because before he proposed, I would say like maybe a couple of months before, I was living in my own apartment. I had gotten my own space, and
you were loving it.
I was enjoying my own space. I mean, I had it maybe 6 months. I didn't really have it for a very long time. And we decided that we wanted to, pursue,
And Randy is serious too. Randy is like a very if that's the goal, let's get to this goal.
Yes.
And the fastest way to let go is straight ahead. We don't need to do all this right here. Let's get there. That's his mentality.
Yes.
But a question for you though.
Yeah.
Tell me how you would have told you. How would the what are you, 27 now?
Sure.
Okay. What would the 27-year-old you have? What are you, 30?
I'm 32.
Okay. What would the 32-year-old you? How would you have told the 23-year-old you to slow down? Give me talk to the 23-year-old you at 32. Talk to her. Because she's listening. She's watching this.
Do you really know who you are to be able to truly give yourself to this man and to your family? If the answer is yes, then you are ready to move forward. If the answer is no, then
I'm going to be you.
Okay.
Because I think I know the 23 you talk to me.
Okay. Then take the time to get to know who you are, what your passion and what your interests are, and what you truly want to do with your life.
But I'm 23. I mean, I know who I am.
No, you don't.
How you gonna tell me I don't know who I am? My boyfriend got a car on 22-inch rims.
Who has it?
My boyfriend.
You don't.
So, you just need to get my own stuff first?
You need to get your life together, sis. Get your life together so that way you can encourage your daughters to do the same.
Whoa.
That's good.
Whoa.
That's good.
I can't argue with that one. That was okay. Good. So your advice to me then, 32-year-old me, is to get my own brag bag.
Yes.
Accomplish some of my own aside from this man, so I can have my own brag. And I think Galatians said, let every man have his own boast in the Lord.
That's good.
Bear each other's burdens, but let every man have his own boast.
Yes.
That's good.
And so you're telling people watching this that you're not ready to get married if you don't have any individual accomplishments on your own.
That's good.
For me, it was difficult knowing that I have the ability to accomplish so much.
Wow.
I felt shadowed by everything that I had supported Randall to do.
Wow.
And so knowing that, I felt like I was just kind of trailing in his shadow, trying to catch up, but I couldn't. Even whenever I was attempting to go back to school, I was only able to take 1 or 2 classes at a time. Whereas as a divorced single mom, I can go to school for free, full time.
For free?
For free.
I need to be a divorced single mom. How you get this? But listen, have my sons be divorced single moms. Listen, and it's interesting. I remember after y'all separated, I started seeing you trying a whole lot of different stuff, acting, modeling. You just went crazy, doing all kind of stuff. You say, whatever in me, I'm about to do it right now. I'm about to see who I am.
Yes.
Intriguing. So, sir, what might the 33-year-old you now, you're 33 now, right? What would you have told the 24-year-old you a week before you got married, knowing what you know now of where this marriage ended?
Since we were kind of opposites in that regard, I was kind of, like you said, locked in, kind of knew who I was. I would have told him to let her make it.
To let her make it?
Let her make it.
What does that mean?
That means to recognize where she is and let her figure out who she is and let her kind of develop in that, and to not marry her at that age.
Well, we have 2 kids by now, right?
We got 2. No.
At that time, we
only
had
had 1.
Okay. So you're saying that you weren't wise enough to understand that she needed space to discover herself.
Right. And I would tell him that it's going to take a lot more than love and providing to keep the marriage together. A lot more.
So tell it to me like you tell the 23-year-old riding on 22s with a 8-inch TV in his car watching SWAT. Tell me how you would have told it to him in a way that you would have understood it and received it. Talk to me straight. I'm you at 24.
I'll say, man, hey, man, let her make it, man, because what's going to happen is, since you kind of know where you are in life and know where you're going, and since she's still figuring it out, what's going to happen is that since she does want to support you, she's just going to get wrapped up in your identity. And it's going to cause a lot of friction because you are so locked in for the sake of providing for your family. So you're not going to let up when it comes to taking care of them. So you're going to make sure they straight regardless.
You're actually saying something to a lot of men. You're saying that, yes, it's great to take care of your, nice jeans, by the way.
Thanks, sir.
Great to take care of your family, but don't take care of a family that you're not getting to know.
So yes, that's valid. I don't think that was the situation necessarily here, though.
But you didn't notice where she was, though.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if you're not noticing that she's slipping away,
right,
that means she's now peripheral.
Right.
So it's like the career was in your direct line of sight, and she's peripheral because you're supposed to know your role. You're the wife. You make room. I'm doing this for us, so you're supposed to know this. So would it be safe to say then, for a husband, never let your family become peripheral?
That's fair. Yeah.
And how does a husband do that when you got a new wife, you got a baby? How does he balance? How would you have balanced that?
I think that more honest conversation, because I'm the type of person, once I have a conversation about something, if you say you good in that area, I don't want to have to read sign language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And what she's saying, like as a police officer and what your schedule was, she's trying to say when you were at home, she didn't want to spend your time at home talking about her issues. So you could have said, like, give her a wider landing strip to say, no, baby, I need to hear you right now because I'm all over the place, and just maybe admit I could be missing something.
Well, I mean, I'll say this in all fairness, though. I was very passive, and that has to do with a lot of the way that I was brought up. Mm-hmm. So I grew up with a passive father.
Was he in the house?
He was in the house.
Okay.
But he was passive in terms of, I felt like my mom more so wore the pants in that situation. Mm-hmm. My mom was the disciplinarian. My father worked. He took care of the house. If our cars needed working on, he took care of that. But, ultimately, if my mom said, hey, I want to go do something, it wasn't really about what my dad wanted to do. My dad did it. And there would just be conversations and things that I would see that I just felt like, that's not how I would want to treat my husband. I want my husband to feel like a certain way. And so I wanted
You didn't want to be your mama.
I did not. I wanted I hope she don't watch this.
Thank God.
Your other mama.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that my husband felt like a king. When he came home, I wanted him to be fed. When he was tired, I wanted to put him to bed.
Wow.
When, the kids needed to be taken care of, I didn't want him to have to really worry about anything outside of, hey, like, I need to get such and such done.
What's intriguing hearing you say this? Because everything that you're saying is what the tightest woman, is what the older woman would tell the young lady of what an excellent wife is. You see, what you're describing is what people say, this is a good wife. A wife does this, she makes sure a man is this. You see all the time, treat him like a king. You hear all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But you're saying there's a B-side to that.
There is, because if you don't know who you are, if you don't know who you are as his queen, then it will backfire on you. It really will.
I think that's the root of all of it. The both parties knowing who they are, their purpose, and how you should move. Because we had lots of conversations. We would sit down at the table and we would talk, we would hang. There were still date nights, there were still trips. Sure. So the career was important because it paid the bills when she wasn't working, but it's like it wasn't like we're not doing nothing together.
Yeah, because seeing you guys at church, y'all serve at church together, and all this good stuff, but you never knew it. You wouldn't have expected there's this underlying theme that's been building because you've been putting him before you.
Yes,
and more importantly, I think that's why the language that I hear for so many divorced women, they almost like they just got off the plantation. You know what I mean? It's almost like the verbiage, I hear things like, I'm finally getting to be me, or I'm discovering me, or I'm choosing me. And it sounds weird, but what you're saying is that maybe that woman truly put him in front of everything.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good word for men, especially men with demanding schedules and careers, that yes, you got a good one. You got to keep her. But if you're going to keep her, make sure that she does not lose her. And I think, so now, question, were you doing things for you, though, or was everything about the kids and Randy?
So the things that I would do for myself, because there was always, oh, go get your nails done.
Yeah.
Oh, go get a massage. There were things like that. I would get my hair taken care of, things of that nature. But
you got nothing to complain about. You got,
yeah. But it wasn't fueling me.
Sure.
Those were things that, were housekeeping, I guess, so to speak. It was housekeeping things. But it wasn't my interest. And so once I kind of started realizing, hey, like I want to get back to what I fell in love with, which was acting. And it wasn't until I started trying to put myself out there as an actor that I realized, okay, well, the Dallas market is saturated for commercials, so I need to start writing my own things. And so it's just, it just kind of seemed like a process, and which is why I say, yes, I feel like we could have made it with the separation, or I'm saying not separate. Well, yeah, I feel like a separation could have worked if that would have been something that, we would have even considered. I don't even think it was something that we considered. I think we ultimately just decided that
it's been scratched now, as far as like you feeling that you've gotten to know who you are and put Tori first and went to school. Do you feel like that you have that the self-discovery has now happened?
I am.
We got about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm at the peak of where I'm supposed to be. I definitely feel that I am where I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
When I'm supposed to be here.
Quick question for you. Can you tell the difference?
Yes.
Wow. And is that more of a positive thing? I mean, how do you feel seeing the difference that you didn't see while you guys were married?
I'm glad she got there. Because my kids have seen me do what I do throughout my career. And that's why I tell them, when you go back to school, finish what them girls say you walk across that stage.
Wow.
That way now, they can look up to mama regardless. Let's really give them something to look up to.
Whoa. Big question. You're saying that you're seeing a better version of Tori.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Tori, you're saying that you look in the mirror and you see a better version of yourself.
Absolutely.
When you see Randy, what comes to mind when you see this as an ex-husband? Just if you have to throw a couple quick words, what word come to mind when you look at Randy?
He is still the best friend that I always had. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to co-parent and raise daughters with him. I would not have anybody else in this. I would not want to have anybody else in this situation. He has made this very easy. We work together.
Are you gonna cry? Because I feel like I'm about to.
I'm not gonna cry.
Is weird.
Not gonna cry,
like
but I'll
don't
say,
judge me if I do.
I'm not gonna judge
Okay.
you, but I would just say, like I wouldn't want to have to go through this with anybody else.
So I noticed earlier when you guys showed up, Randy sat on the end corner, or somewhere on the end corner. He sat in that chair. He was there first, by the way. Mm-hmm. And he had his arm up like this. And you came in, and out of all the chairs in this room, you sat in this one.
Yeah.
Was that was that intentional? Was it habitual? What made you sit here out of all these chairs in the room?
Well, first off, I came to do the podcast with him.
Sure.
So I did. I sat next to him. I'm not afraid of him biting me. I'm not afraid of him. There's no tension. We have a healthy relationship.
But there are other guests that showed up for the next episode, and they're not sitting right here.
Oh, well, then they probably should check their relationship. Maybe they have something else going on that we don't.
Or maybe you have something going on that they don't. So I'm not going to ask the question I really want to ask. There's a question I want to ask, but I'm not going to ask the question. Do you know what the question is I want to ask? Do you know?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I mean, I can't think of nothing.
Would you like to know the question that I'm not going to ask?
Is there time for a water break?
There's not time for water break. We got to get out of here. But would you like to know the question I want to ask?
You can ask the question, but I cannot guarantee an answer.
Would you like to know the question I want to ask?
I'm not nosy.
You're not nosy. Okay, I'm not going to answer the question. But the people won't ask the question. Here's the question. Because out of all these chairs, you sat in this one right here. And he has a deeper appreciation for this version of Tori. And there's not another man on the planet that I would dare ever want to be in this friendship with, raise my babies. And Randy, he makes sure.
I hate it here.
Have y'all hooked up? Do y'all still see an attraction there towards each other despite what the papers say? Do you have moments of flesh weakness when you...
Randall?
Oh, no, kick it on this side.
I did.
Is there moments when you say, you know what I'm saying, this version you Tori, I like them yellow bones and right, your hair all natural, what have you. Are there times where you just forget y'all not together, be like, you know what, stop playing with me, and she ain't really did nothing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh? Ma'am, I'm sorry. Did you speak in the microphone?
Yes.
And so it's like, I asked a question because we're over time. With these different versions and feeling that it was a season, is there any chance under the sun that if the stars align properly and y'all continue this exploration, this at the peak where you are, is there a snowball chance in hell that you guys will consider having a conversation of reversing a decision that y'all made when you did not have all the options in front of you?
I would say that only really time would be able to tell.
Wow.
I don't know where Randall's ventures and career, where that's all going to take him. I don't know where my career is going to take me.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer that everything does happen for a reason.
I believe that. Romans 8:28. That's your Christian coming out. Go ahead.
Yes. But that seasons do change and evolution is a thing. So I am.
Sound like Gandhi. You heard that? Evolution.
I am open to allowing life to will out.
Life to will out. Sir, how might you feel? Man, we're gonna talk to y'all again because I need a whole different segment of life as a single woman who was once married with kids and a single man. That's a whole nother segment. I want to figure out how y'all living, how y'all make the adjustments of I was once coming home to somebody and now I'm coming home to my apartment. There's some perks to that. You come home and like, yes. And somebody's like, damn.
For sure.
Ain't nobody here.
For sure.
So that's a whole separate topic. But sir, and she had a very long answer, by the way, which was very telling. I'm not going to tell you what told me, but we're going to talk. Did she lick her tongue out of me? Did she do that?
She did.
That was weird. As this evolution, do you think that's even possible that you entertain that conversation?
I would entertain the conversation.
Okay. Well, guys, we kept it going for real today. So we're going to have this couple back because I got some other questions, but that wraps up another episode of Keep It Going. Tune in next week. It's going to be a vibe. Thank y'all so much, Randy,
yes,
Tori. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
She is very uncomfortable right now, especially the question like, do y'all still, So anyway, God bless y'all. Keep it going. See y'all next week. I didn't text you that one.
That was good, wasn't it? Now that you know who my man is, go follow Doc on IG at Doc_Goines. I'll see y'all next Tuesday back on the block.